This is our No Rest for the Weary edition of the Swimming and Diving Coaches Show. I'm Sean Moth, head coach Arthur Albiero, the Energizer Bunny. There's no rest for these guys, and I feel like we should talk about the top 10 finish and Carlos Almeida again, but we've had something else go on since. Grand Prix up at Indianapolis, swimmers with an opportunity to qualify with the U.S. Olympic trial times, and it is this is a superstar meet. This is everybody out, and you take a good number of swimmers, and what a phenomenal experience.
It is. This is the Olympic year, and the Grand Prix are the most sought-after meets now, not only in the country, but arguably in the world. There was a number of international athletes there competing, and it just adds to the excitement that it's hard to miss that this is a special year in our sport.
So the Ryan Lochte's and the Michael Phelps and Amanda Beards and the names that you are familiar with are all up there competing, along with some of our Cardinal student athletes. Touch on some of our better performances over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, I thought it was a great opportunity. Actually, Giselle Cohoida got to race, Amanda Beard, and definitely, I think that's the standard of breaststroke has been, certainly in the top of the game in the U.S. So it's a really measuring stick for you to see where you are and where your competition is, and coming back from NCAA championships a couple weeks before, it is a tough turnaround.
Sure.
Mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah.
But these guys did a good job. That was part of what we wanted to accomplish, is to go there and perform well and really get there's nothing like racing.
Yeah.
By giving you the experience, So we went there to race, and I feel like we accomplished that.
As we go to the next step for the swimmers, it's a little cloudy, shall we say, and it's not because things are in question, but it's because you have a team with so many kids that are going in so many different directions. So we can't really generalize what's next, but there are a number of different options for a number of different swimmers.
And that's part of the challenge right now. It's coming from the collegiate season's over, and there's plenty of what I call, this is a trap time, where a lot of things are definitely voluntary, but this is a driven group. I mean, these guys have big goals this summer. And I think the flavor that I sense is, they're hungrier than ever. And you're absolutely right. We're going to be here, there, and everywhere. And we have, a number of our athletes pursuing opportunity to finalize their Olympic berth, and to be in that environment. And then we have, a few more that are still trying to get their Olympic trial cuts. And then we have, a good number that have their trial cuts. So there's a little bit of everything, and that's part of the challenge for us as a staff right now, just to make sure that we have a plan in place, and one, I should say, potentially 10, 15 different plans going on from a training standpoint as they move forward. So it's part of our providing a comprehensive approach and give them an idea of, okay, these are some of the things that you need to do and how we set it up.
I guess it's safe to say that the plans are essentially the same, if not similar, but it's just the timeline of them all are so drastically different, because those that have their cuts are getting ready for the trials in the end of June in Omaha. Those that don't are trying to get those cuts before their individual trials. So a lot of similarities, but just different times.
Right, and I think in our sport, Sean, we kind of work backwards. We look at, okay, this is the target day, this is the target meet, and then we work on this is going to be a taper, a rest schedule leading into it, and we kind of build the season almost backwards. Of, okay, how much time do we have left to create, to have aerobic development, and speed development, race specific, and so and we got to try to squeeze those phases in. Now the good news is nobody's starting from zero,
right?
And really coming from a phenomenal season. I think emotionally the momentum is there to be excited about what's coming, and this is it's really when the sport goes back to being a really full individual sport.
Yeah.
You're no longer competing for University of Louisville. You kind of are in the back of your mind. You always represent.
The pride is there. Yeah.
You always represent, but it's you're representing yourself first and foremost, and personal responsibility.
Yeah, I think there's between 5 and 10 athletes that will be looking to represent countries other than the United States from the University of Louisville swim squad, and then the 22 kids are going to be in Omaha, and I mean, that meet it's got to be mind-boggling. I mean, NCAA has so much built into it. That happens every year. I mean, the Olympic trials, this has got to be a whole nother experience in Omaha.
It is. It's it gives me goosebumps as we're talking about it, because really I've been very fortunate to being part of a couple, and this is one of those meets where it's really not even about swimming. It's about controlling your nerves.
Yeah.
And and you've seen people come out of nowhere to make an Olympic team, and you've seen favorites struggle
Sure.
and miss the opportunity. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter what you've done. It's one or two.
Yeah.
This is the one meet where if you're third, you're the #1 loser, and it's a terrible place to be.
No question.
And but the excitement, the way USA Swimming has really put together the championships the last couple times. I mean, it's first class all the way. It's definitely an opportunity that I think it changes you and almost like complete your career as a swimmer to be part of Olympic trials. It's very, very special.
Absolutely. It's something to look forward to, and to keep his schedule a little less chaotic. We're not going to necessarily meet every week from this point on, but UofLSports.com will do an outstanding job of keeping you abreast of what's going on. Before we leave, though, one other thing. Head coach Arthur Albiero, National Coach of the Year on swimswam.com, as his team was also mentioned as top swim team at the meet. Sometimes it's the winning team that always gets that honor, but congratulations for such an extraordinary season, an extraordinary honor, and a lot to look forward to for swimming and diving.
Well, we are humbled and honored, and I think more than anything, that's a tribute to my staff and all the people that have played a huge role in our development. Not just this year, obviously, is a culmination of a lot of things, but really the years leading up to this, some of the kids have been through the program and have helped us move forward. But it really goes back to the staff, the people that are getting their shoes wet every day, and do a lot behind the scenes for us. And I'm very thankful to be part of, this group of great people. And certainly would be remiss if we didn't again touch on the support that we have had here at the University of Louisville. And from President Ramsey to Tom Jurish to Julie Herman this is a special place.
It is. Congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
For Arthur Albiero, I'm Sean Moth. We thank you for joining us all season long, and again, stay on UofLSports.com to get updates on how these swimmers are doing as we head toward a potential dream in the Olympics. Thanks again for watching. We'll talk next right here on CardsTV.